Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's a meal in a salad that's delicious and satisfying. Here to share his easy recipe, we welcome back food and travel journalist J.M. Hirsch. How you doing, J.M.?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So tell me that this is supposed to be easy and satisfying, as we said in the intro. Tell me all about it.
And healthy.
Okay.
And the only cooking, are you ready? If you can boil water, you can make this because that's the only cooking you have to do.
Love it.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to start with the first component of the dressing, and that is reduced sugar dried cranberries. You can use regular dried cranberries, but I find they're a little too sweet for this salad. But use what you like. Okay. So we have about 3/4 of a cup, which is about 3/4 of a 5-ounce package, which is how they're usually sold.
Okay.
And we're going to add the juice of 2 lemons. All right. And that's it. We're going to set it aside.
Okay.
We're doing that so that the cranberries have time to plump up and absorb some of that lemon juice.
Gotcha.
That's the first part of our dressing.
Okay.
Second part of our dressing is tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. It's like peanut butter made from sesame seeds.
Right.
I love it. I will put it on absolutely anything and everything. But if tahini is not your thing, you can use a creamy, smooth peanut butter instead, and it's just as delicious. So we have half a cup of tahini or peanut butter, and I'm going to add half a cup of hot water. And that's just to loosen it up a little bit and give it a creamier, thinner consistency because we want the dressing to really coat everything really well. So we're going to loosen it up a little bit.
You travel a lot. Was this a recipe that you kind of put together after a certain destination?
Bits and pieces that I've learned along the way. You know, the tahini as a dressing made like this is something I experienced in Jordan, across North Africa. And it's so good. It's so rich and it's so simple and creamy and wonderful and savory. It's fantastic. They put it on everything. Now, this is about half a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Get in there. A teaspoon of sugar just to sweeten things up ever so slightly.
Okay.
Now, we have some red pepper flakes here. This is about half a teaspoon, but I would prefer to put more in because I like it hot.
Yeah.
But the husband does not.
The husband does not like it hot. I'm hanging out with your husband.
So you can put as little or as much as you want.
Right, sure.
All right, and that's it. Just whisk it up and you're good to go. Now we'll talk about the 2 star ingredients and the only cooking that you actually have to do. What I have here is broccoli florets. I cut up maybe 2 or 3 large crowns of broccoli into like 2-inch florets like that. And then I brought a large pot of water to a boil and I seasoned it really well with salt. Now, the reason you season the water is because it's a really easy way of thoroughly seasoning the broccoli, okay? Because it gets into every nook and cranny. You don't have to worry about adding salt later.
Okay.
And is it going to be, you know, out throughout the dish and all that?
Yeah, okay.
You put the broccoli florets in that water for about 3 minutes. You want them to be tender, but not mushy.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 minutes. Then I just use a slotted spoon. I put them on my metal rack, set over a baking sheet, and I let them cool and drain. And that way you don't get all that excess water that's going to dilute your dressing and all that. Okay, so we have our broccoli in our bowl. Now, the other star ingredient is the chicken from a 1 pound, 14-ounce, very weird measurement, I know, a 1 pound, 14-ounce rotisserie chicken. And all I did was I bought it at the grocery store, I pulled the chicken off, and I shred it. You could chop it, but I like to shred it because when you shred chicken, it tends to have like lots of nooks and crannies that are really great for absorbing dressing.
Sure.
Now, the most important
And that's a good point about shredding versus cubing.
It is. And, you know, but it's whatever you like. I like the bigger pieces, gets a little bit meatier. Now, there's a very important lesson here that you absolutely have to follow, because if you don't follow this, you're going to ruin the recipe.
Okay.
And it's a cooking lesson that my great-grandmother taught me when I was a kid. When you are removing the meat from either a chicken or a turkey, it's very important that you put 1 piece in the pot and 1 piece in this pot.
There you go.
Okay? So this may not look like a full chicken's worth of meat, and there's a reason for that. It's called quality control.
There you go. That's how I work with wine. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we're just going to toss this. Now we add our cranberries and lemon juice. Okay. And we toss it again to get everything mixed up perfectly. There we go.
That's interesting that you don't drain the cranberries. You just use that
You
juice.
want the lemon juice in there because
Yeah.
that's an important component. It adds a lot of brightness and acidity. It's
Okay.
a perfect balance to the creamy, rich tahini.
Okay.
Now we're just going to add our dressing
Huh.
and spread it all around. There we go. Perfect. And then you toss and get everything nicely coated.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, this
Do you let
is
it sit
so
for a while
robust.
so that things kind of meld?
You absolutely can. You can make this ahead and it holds perfectly. I like to serve it room temperature and I
Okay.
like to serve it at, frankly, just as is, but it's also wonderful over rice.
Oh yeah.
And and this is my favorite use for the leftovers, is you take those leftovers and you put them in a wrap. And it's so delicious.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
perfect, healthy filling for a wrap. And then to finish it off, I save some of the dried cranberries and I put a few on top. It
Yeah.
makes it pretty. And then I have some toasted cashews that I sprinkle on top. Now, you can use almonds, you can use cashews. If you choose to use peanut butter instead of tahini, use crushed peanuts.
Sure.
But I like cashews because it reminds me of cashew chicken, which is a lovely dish.
Oh yeah, it is.
And that's
Oh,
it.
that looks
And
great, JM.
comes together in what, 15, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
including the blanching of the broccoli and the cleaning of the chicken. And that's it. It's healthy, it's filling, it's
Yeah, and
meaty,
yeah.
creamy. It's wonderful.
Good idea. JM, thank you so much. So we'll put the recipe on our website at katu.com. Thank you so much and great to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you.